So ladies, let's get started talking about impersonating. Why did each of you become an impersonator?
Definitely come see us at New York DragCon.
September 28th, 29th, and 30th, because I know things, because I'm smart.
She remembers things. She remembers everything.
A shady elephant never forgets.
Well, I've always admired Tina Turner. I love her energy and her style. And even when I was a little kid, I would just play with the mop, like the mop was Tina's hair, going back and forth. And I would play Ike. I just love beat the mop. No, just teasing. But I was so inspired by her whole energy on stage. And I started performing in Los Angeles at the Lacage there. Then I moved to Atlantic City, and now I'm in Las Vegas at Divas there in Las Vegas with Frank Marino.
I got started on Halloween. I'm one of those typical Halloween drag babies. Because I got told I look like Britney. And so I was like, well, it's Halloween and I'm not gay, so that's the one day that I should do it.
Yeah, Derrick wasn't gay when I met him.
No.
Seriously? No, he wasn't gay. No, seriously.
I know. No, I mean, I was, let's be honest, I was gay, but I had a girlfriend. And so, anyway, I could get away with it. And she was like, God, you're hot. Well, she's a lesbian now. So now it's all making sense. We were, our gateway drugs back then. So I dressed up like Britney, walked Santa Monica Boulevard. People freaked out, called me Britney. I entered a contest. I don't think I won, but I was close. And then I met Chad 2 weeks later after Britney did The Tonight Show. And I came dressed up and I was like, I do Britney, and she's coming out with an album tomorrow, and I want a job.
She sure did.
Yep.
She sure did.
And he's like, how old are you? And I was like, I'm 20 years old, and I can do this. And so he set me up with college night, and I was there at Mickey's every other Tuesday, and I ended up in Vegas 6 months later.
It was less than
that. 6 months. And I met Larry at Miscongeniality too, which you guys gotta see. Larry is hilarious. Obviously, like the Tina is so good, but when you see it in a comedic form, like in a movie with Sandra Bullock, it's just, what a highlight. So he got the job and I did not. But I moved to Vegas and the rest is history.
So, with me, I was always kind of a theatrical kid and I was always playing in my grandmother allowed me to do many things and play in her shoes and her clothes. And we did little photo shoots on the fireplace and all that. And I think my mom was not as open to it, but my mom's always been kind of cool. So nothing really shocked her. But as a teenager, growing up in the 80s and I graduated 89. So that was Madonna, like living the life. So loved Madonna. I always wanted to do Madonna, so I put myself in Madonna drag, and it just was horrible, you guys. The facial structure's not there. It's not possible for me to look like her. So I finally met my drag mother, Hunter, and he wanted to help me get into a show in San Diego, and you had to do a look-alike. So he put me in drag as Cher, and he did my makeup away from the mirror, and he turned me around, and there was kind of Cher, not really, but it was pretty good, and that's how I started. And I started working in a local show in San Diego, and that's kind of how it got started.
That's really cool. Well, speaking of growing up, I'm actually curious, when was the first time you connected with the stars that you impersonate? And did any of the divas have songs that helped you through your coming out process?
With Britney, obviously The Tonight Show was the first interaction I had with her. I'd seen her show, but I'm a regular person in the audience that doesn't stand out. So they filmed me like meeting her, and I stood up and I'm dancing, and she's like, yeah, he's very into himself. And Jay Leno's like, no, he's more into you than himself, this guy. And she's like, yeah, maybe so. I mean, it was like shade, I guess, before shade existed. But I looked good, so I get it. She was threatened.
You threatened?
Yeah, of course I was. She's like, why are you so skinny? No, but... And now I do her Instagram fitness videos to keep up with her, so thank you, Britney.
Have any of her songs, did any of her songs help you with your coming out process?
It was kind of my realization to move, actually. I was listening to the radio, and there was that Hoobastank song that's really sad, like Give Me a Reason or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. So I'm crying, and I'm like, I don't know if I should move to Vegas. I have a girlfriend, and I'm happy here in LA. I need a sign, universe, before The Secret existed. And Toxic came on, and I'm like, oh, whew, I knew it, thank you. Thank you, Lord Britney. So I wouldn't say it's a coming out, but it was definitely a coming of age realization.
What about you, Larry?
Well, I had the opportunity to meet Tina Turner in Chicago at the Oprah show. That was the highlight of my career, being able to meet her, because it took for like 18 years or so, because she traveled always from Europe. She lived in Europe. So after the Oprah show, my friend arranged for me to meet with her in his VIP area at United Airlines, which was just amazing. And I thanked her for allowing me to do a portrayal of her. And she says, I've seen so many photos that my sister's given me of you, and thank you for doing me respectfully and not making a mockery of her. And that was just so touching, having that. And my coming out song is Proud Mary, but I call it Proud Larry. Proud Larry!
You're so shy, bitch.
I know. That's what we were sure.
So the question is, what was the relationship growing up with the artist?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm a child of the 70s, really, and so there was always Sonny and Cher show on the TV in my house, and I was kind of too young to grasp the concept of Sonny and Cher, but all I knew was that there was this gorgeous lady with long, beautiful black hair and these gorgeous sparkly costumes. I was like a crow, just like attracted to the sparkles on the screen. So, it took a while for that to download, into my teen years. But I wouldn't really say there was a Cher song, but the Like a Virgin album sure got me through, bitch. Sure did.
That'll do. That's pretty gay.
Yeah, very gay.
I love it.
So let's get into some juicy questions. Musicians get sick of their biggest hits all the time. Are there any songs by your divas that you get sick of performing?
For me, I worked in Vegas at La Cage, which is now Divas, but I was there from 97 to 99, and the producer of the show was not progressive at all. And they had me we were doing 14 shows a week. We were doing 3 shows Wednesday, 3 shows Saturday, and 2 shows every other night, 1 night off. Turn back time every night, ladies and gentlemen. Same cut, same outfit, same wig, no change. During that time while I was there, Believe came out, and the show was being produced by Norbert Allemann. And Norbert said, well, Norbert is French, and he's a very, very, very intimidating man with ties to all kinds of organizations. But so he says, I said, Norbert, this song, Just Believe, it's incredible. It's number 1. He said, well, nobody know the Believe. You're gonna keep doing the turn back time. Midwest, they know the big hair and the bodysuit, so you do turn back time. And that was it. You don't get, there's no second question, please, there's just, so yeah, I got stuck doing turn back time. But, I took a year off of it after I left, and now we're back on track.
Mine is definitely Womanizer. Only because, now it has a rebirth because she did the Billboard Awards, and it's got a really great, chorus or dance break in it. So it's more fun, and anytime it's revived, it's amazing and revisited. But hearing womanizer, womanizer, you're a womanizer, baby, it's like, whoa, why is this so low? And why is it the only thing she's saying? So, and same with what Chad said, you hear the same song 6 days a week, guys.
It's rough.
I'm surprised I have a brain, and it's not just mush of Britney songs. That was mine, but now I love it again. So you gotta take a break.
Take a little break.
I wouldn't even listen to it, and now it's one of my favorites to perform again. So they breathe new life later on.
When I'm tired and run down and I don't really want to do Proud Mary, having to do the fast pace, it sometimes get to me. But I love all of Tina's songs. I really enjoy performing, but sometimes Proud Mary, when I'm not energized or ready to dance, I'd rather do Private Dancer.
How many people have been to see Divas in Las Vegas? You seen Larry perform? It's no joke. This bitch doesn't stop moving, and I mean, it's a sight to behold, and it's inspiring, and it's iconic, truly.
Oh, thank you,
So, kind of on the opposite side of that, what is your favorite deep cut to perform?
Oh gosh, I guess for me is Touching My Hand or Breathe on Me, because they're so sensual, evokes that kind of sexuality out of it. Something, I don't know, I'm getting turned on. Oh my God.
So funny.
I think mine is I Might Have Been Queen. Just because of the title, I think it's fun, and the music's good.
I love to do a vintage share a lot. I love Just Want to Be Friends, which is really, really old, you guys. And then I guess for something new, different kind of love song off of, Closer to the Truth. It's like it's got a good beat and you can dance to it.
So now I have some questions for each of you individually. I'm going to start with Derrick. Before you were on Drag Race, you appeared in an Eminem music video as Britney Spears. What was that experience like?
Well, I was really nervous when I first got cast in that. I just worked with Joseph Kahn, who has worked with everybody. He just did Taylor Swift's new videos. And it was for Katy Perry Waking Up in Vegas. And so I got a call to be in Eminem's video, and I was like, does Eminem know I'm a guy? And so I was nervous to do it, and he's like, no, he asked me, he said, can we get that Britney from America's Got Talent? That's the one I want. And I was the only drag queen in the video. It's all real same-sex impersonators. And so my brother, I told him he loves Eminem, and he's like, oh my God, he's gonna go up to you, and he's gonna be like, wow, yeah, you really do look like that bitch. And I was like, I had that in my head. I was like, he's gonna say it. But he's like, no, you were great to work with, and you did an incredible job. And I had no idea how funny he was, and that was where I really realized that you don't know people until you know them. Mm-hmm. And you can think someone is some way because of the persona they have or how they have to sell records. And he was just so down to earth, and knowing I was a guy and being okay with that and accepting of drag and wanting to put it out to the media. You don't know what's gonna happen when you put drag queens in your videos.
Sure.
But he took a chance. I licked his face. I nibbled on his ear, and Joseph was like, get closer, he's getting more uncomfortable. Yeah, and I definitely became more of a fan, because before that I was scared.
And Larry, you've also been in a video, not a music video.
The movie?
Yeah, sorry, the movie. Yes.
What's Love Got to Do with It? I'm Tina's movie. One of the Tina Turner impersonators on the front row doing Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
I'm also in Sandra Bullock's movie Misconception 2, which we mentioned earlier. It's Patti LaBelle and Tina Turner. And I was also in the Waking Up in Vegas with Derrick, the Katy Perry video for that.
It's incredible. And on the topic of music videos, you were in a lyric video for Cher.
I was, yeah. We're in the lyric video for Women's World.
So Chad, what did you think of the season 10 girls' takes on Cher this week?
I didn't get to see it. Okay, so they put the crown winners up for this, which is very, very generous and nice, but they put us at a hotel without VH1, so I haven't seen it yet. I've been up here since Thursday during the day, so I'm going to watch it when I get home, but I've seen pictures. I think I certainly, if I did not do Cher, would not want to be on a challenge. Going, here, do Cher and sing live, bitch. So I give it up to all of them for even having to be put through that.
So Hot Chocolate, you haven't been on the show yet, but if you were, who would you be for Snatch Game?
Yes.
Would you do Tina?
I think I want to do something different, maybe Patti LaBelle, because I also do Patti in the show to make fun, come out with sweet potato pies and eat them or something. Because Ru wants it to be funny, and I'm known as the Tina Turner, so I'd rather do something that I'm not known as, like Patti LaBelle.
How about the background singers? Where are my background singers?
Like, that was funny.
You have to do that. Would be amazing.
Funny.
And look back at all the girls. Please be on the show. Please be on the show.
Too old. Too old.
No. You are not too old, baby. There is no too old.
Nope. There is no age limit.
These children need some education, bitch. There's never too old.
So each of your divas have reinvented themselves several times. So what is your favorite era to portray?
I think Disco Inferno, when she did, Left Ike, and she had the independence, and that song was just so good, Disco Inferno, she felt good, and I think that whole disco look,
My favorite is Britney into the zone. Britney into In the Zone. That transition is where it went from I'm sexy and I'm showing you something, but then singing about masturbation. So it's like a whoa in a year or two. Well, you can't have kids at your show anymore. Don't come out in a schoolgirl outfit.
Sure.
So I think that era is just super sexy, Britney, and hot.
There's a really funny video from, I'm not sure if it was from the Cher show or Sonny and Cher, but it's a really short little piece where she's lamenting that all of growing up that she always wanted to be a blonde and that the blondes had more fun and this, that, and the other. And that's always stuck in my mind. So I love blonde hair. I just have such an affinity for it. And my drag mother Hunter, it was so beautiful with that blonde hair. So I always remember that. So that's like my favorite thing. So yeah.
What is the biggest misconception about drag impersonators?
A lot of people feel like celebrity impersonation is not cool. Like it's kind of old school. Like you don't have your own character in drag. And I think for me, that's a total misconception because, I do share. Yeah, I walk around, but I'm not Cher. I'm not trying to act like Cher. Like when I'm in drag, I'm me. I'm Chad. I have a job that I do on stage, and people kind of get that twisted sometimes. They're like, well, should we call you Chad or Cher? Like, come on. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? So I think maybe that's one of the things that is a misconception. And I feel like sometimes, like some of my Drag Race sisters kind of look down on it a little bit. And just, like, oh, Chad's just doing his thing. You know what I mean? But that's cool. It's my thing, and I love what I do. And I'm proud of what I do. So.
Well, you got a crown for it, so.
It's the same as Chad said, and I would just talk to people about this, and because fans ask, like, how does that make you feel? People say that celebrity impersonation isn't drag. And I'm like, wow, in a world where there's so much controversy on what drag is and what drag isn't, how dare anyone say that celebrity female impersonation that started really making mainstream drag come alive on the Las Vegas Strip, where you had to buy a ticket, not walk into a bar and see someone do a death drop. You had to buy a ticket to that show. So I feel like it's really unfortunate to the art and artistry. And Faye and I have had lots of conversations about this stuff too, because she's an amazing Christina, but she also wants to be Pheromone. And I feel like the most down-to-earth people that do drag are celebrity impersonators because we're one thing on stage and we're still us off camera, off stage as a boy. We don't feel like we have to pretend to be someone and say no to a picture as a boy because you're too good for that. And I don't know, this is the most humble person I've ever met, and this is probably one of the sweetest people you'll ever get to know because on and off stage they're the same. And sometimes when you do drag, you lose yourself in that. And we don't lose ourselves because we're actors portraying a character. And it's not one we made up.
That was so well put, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's so perfect what you said.
Larry, I can't follow that.
Will you talk, you were at La Cage LA, were you not?
Yes.
Can you talk about that and the kind of people that came to that show?
It was so amazing to see so many celebrities that would come into La Cage, Los Angeles. They would come and have dinner, and it was a fun atmosphere where you could go and mingle with the celebrities, and they loved it. It brought drag to mainstream. A lot of the celebrities will use the female impersonators in the movies and stuff after seeing them at La Cage, Los Angeles, and it created Vegas and Atlantic City from the La Cage, Los Angeles.
And I mean, like Lucille Ball.
Yes.
Came to and just kicked it with the girls. That in itself blows me away.
Yes, amazing.
Have all of you had celebrity encounters aside from the people you impersonate?
I have a memorable moment with Hot Chocolate in London doing Elton John's birthday party. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. It was at his name was Lord Bruce Dundas, and he owned a diamond shop in Knightsbridge. And so we were actually in his jewelry shop, and they had 2 round tables set up, and we're looking at people like Joanna Lumley, Patsy, Sweetie, and Carrie Fisher was there that night. And
Joan Collins.
Joan Collins was there that night. I remember that night, whoever was organizing the party, I wanted to meet Carrie Fisher, and because Princess Leia is my idol from my childhood. 1976, baby, I was there, first showing. And so I said to them, I really want to meet Carrie Fisher, but I just simply can't walk up to her and talk to her. She said, come over here. And so she came up, and she was a little bit full, and all smiles, and she looked up at me, and I said, I just want you to know that growing up, I always wanted to be Princess Leia. And she looked at me and said, well, that's funny, because growing up, I always wanted to be Cher.
Oh. Great story.
And I will never forget it.
Story. So let's take some questions from the audience. Let's make a little cue right here.
Oh, cute. You have your own mic.
I know some of you have questions. Come on.
First of all, I just want to say thanks for coming down to this panel. I love you all. I've seen you all work, except for maybe you, Derrick. I've seen you on TV, but not in person, so that's a goal. I wanted to ask Chad, because I always see the costumes you do. I've seen your Instagrams and everything are amazing.
Thank you.
So tell us about that.
Well, he's sitting right back there. Adam, where are you? Are you gone?
He just stepped out for a
Oh,
second.
he just stepped out. Well, Adam does a lot of my partner, Adam of 15 years, does a lot of my costumes, and he, give him a round of applause. He's so awesome.
I love him.
He is a self-taught designer and tailor. He actually, when we got together, just sat down at my sewing machines and just started making stuff and progressed very quickly. I also do a lot of my own stuff. You know, I can't throw everything in his lap. So, it's kind of a team effort. There he is. Give it up for that guy back there.
Hey.
Adam McGee. So I'm very lucky. Thank you for that question.
Now that you guys have been doing this for quite a while now, what advice would you give to yourself when you were up and coming in this world?
To block your eyebrows. Because if you're not Willem, people take it so seriously. Yeah, I had no idea, but it raised my face up in a way that I had no idea was possible. And even my best friend we were 7 when we met, and she saw pictures and she's like, your eyes are so pretty. Like, what are you doing? And then she realized there's all that space to put color, and it just changes your face. You really can do crazy things with makeup. Sure. So I wish I would have just played more when I was younger and not got so stuck in, well, I just want to look like this Britney picture. So I'll tweeze my eyebrows. Like, have fun, it's drag. Heighten it. Oh.
Chad, I've been a fan of yours for a very long time.
It's nice seeing you yesterday.
Back in, from Mickey's and stuff like that. And when you're talking about some people you feel you can't do or whatnot.
Yes.
One of the first times I ever saw you perform at Mickey's, you came out as Cher. Mm-hmm. Somebody else came out and performed, and then you came out as Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you go and look at yourself as Cher and go, I could be Manson too, and kill it?
Because they have the same facial structure. They have very much the same facial structure, and it's just a matter of really around the eye area and jacking up the lips bigger for Marilyn Manson. Again, it goes back to facial structure. It really does. So, and for me, I kind of have like a meal deal. Celine Dion, Cher, and Marilyn Manson are like my 3 main lookalikes that I do, and I manage to look decent as all 3. And they all, if you look at them, Celine Dion walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Hey, Celine, why the long face?" So, so the long face, the cheeks, it all kind of goes. It's the trio. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for coming.
Thanks, you guys were amazing. Thanks for showing up so early.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. That's so nice.